about our perception. Hey, how's everybody doing today? Good. Hopefully everybody's doing pretty well today. So today we'll do some more insightful content about mind, matter, universe, human behavior, human concepts, how stuff works to create what you want. So I think we'll touch on that, right? So I want to start, someone asked me this question, I had a viewer from my one of my YouTube channels. They asked me, they say, "Hey Mark, do you have tough times, or how do you deal with tough things or tough times in your life?" And while I may be more optimistic, but I'm also just like you guys. I'm human just as well. So there is things that I experience just like anybody else would experience. But I think the answer to that is about my perspective and my perception to how I view things that happen in the world. See, the first thing I do is, guys, I deprogram my mind from the regular program of the matrix of the world. Like languages and all this stuff we use, I kind of deprogram my mind from that thing, and I just kind of focus on what's happening right now in this space around me. And then I let my intuition, I let my feelings tell me what's right and what's wrong. I don't rely upon society words. Let me give you an example. When people say words like failure, success, not good enough, hard times, lack, those are languages that affects my subconscious in a negative connotation. It will actually go against what I want. So what I understand now is how reality works is that all of those words are stuff that we made up. You cannot be a failure. Also, you cannot be a success. You cannot be in lack, and you cannot be in any state of warrior. What's actually happening is that we have been accustomed to the languages, and we use those languages to interpret our environment, which create feelings, and it puts us in those states. But in reality, those words don't exist. In other words, you are already successful. You're already abundant, if you're going to use those words in this moment. See, you are truth. I am truth. That's who you are. You're not like a physical person. You're more of a spirit, energetic being observing a spiritual realm. So when people use words like failure, I don't look at failure. Nothing is a failure to me. Everything to me is like a feedback loop. It's like, man, okay, this is feedback. Oh, Mark, you have hard times. No, there's no such thing as hard times. It's just my perception, how I interpret it. And I learned really to be careful of doing this. And I've gotten really good at mastering this now, because prior to not doing this, I would become a victim and a scapegoat to all of this stuff. Because there were times when I believed, like, man, it's a hard time for real. The economy's getting bad, all that. And then I would notice my reality would reflect that stuff. Then it just dawned on me that, all of this, here, I'll give you the biggest lesson you're going to learn about life, guys. Listen, life is a game broken up in different games. You have different games of life. You have the game of life of money, the game of life of spirituality, the game of life of relationships, dating, the game of life of knowledge and understanding, the game of life at politics, the game of life of religion. So it's a big game, but it's broken up into different compartments. What you have to understand is, if you know the rules of each game, you will always win, just like any game. So let's break down the game of reality when it comes to like hard times, struggle and all that stuff, and perception, all that, failure, and they tell you you're not good enough, all of that. The word failure has no basis in reality, doesn't exist. Even the word success. Remember, guys, it's a game, so we make up those languages. But how the game works, this is how the game works, though. Because we have what's called an unconscious or a subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind believes everything is for real while it's still a game. And that is because your subconscious is not a thinking mind like our regular mind can. I can sit here and think to you guys, and like I'm going to think about what I'm going to say. Your subconscious can't do that. So anything we say that has an effect emotionally on us, our subconscious will reflect that mirror back to our reality. And look, here's a key word: reflect. If it's reflecting something back, a mirror, it's like a hologram, which is like a game, a simulation. You know, there is everything that I'm seeing in my life is a reflection based on my perception and the languages that I've been taught. If you've taught the English language, the words in the English language are going to cast what we call spells on your subconscious mind. If you're taught Spanish, French, whatever your native language is, the languages in your word will cast spells on your subconscious mind. Hence, it's called spelling, spells. What these spells do, they actually hypnotize your subconscious to create a result based on what you think about the word and the language, and that result now reflects into your reality as a feedback or an experience. So back to the question someone asked me, hey Mark, do you have hard times? So here's the answer. I'm aware of change, but I don't see hard times. You see the difference here? I'm not giving power to hard times. I'm aware of change because the universe is constantly moving. So what I do is I observe the change and I go with the flow with the change. If I have to go up with the change, I go up. If I have to limit and do stuff to slow the change, I slow the change. That's my perception and that's my perspective. When I do that, although my ego may feel a certain type of way though, I, the true me, actually knows the bigger picture of what's going on. I understand that this is a game and the only thing is real is what's happening in this moment. There's different coping mechanisms you can do. Someone says that's why daily journaling is so good. Yes, daily journaling can remind you and get your mind acclimated to see like, okay, what's the big picture here? So, hello guys. Hello, how you doing? So that's the thing that I learn about life and all of this stuff is that I don't take anything serious. And you know, another lesson I learned about the game, here's the game, and here's another part of the game now, when it comes to attracting what you want. That's what we all want, right? We want to manifest. Now remember, let me repeat this. Life is a game. There's nothing serious about life. It's all a game. It's things that are, everything that's outside of you is compartmentalized from inside. We are projections. Projecting is a video game. When you see they make video games, what do? They use a what? A CPU. What else they use? They use a motherboard, a mother drive, a component. All of this part is a part of the game. The processing unit. Your brain is the processing unit. Everything around you is actually like information. It's information in little what we call quantum forms. And our brain is like a CPU. It processes this data. And when it processes this data shoots out to us as like a physical reality. So you have to get that. You got to get that picture. It's a game. So once you understand it's a game now, every game has rules to it. Because the programmer create different rules in the game. So the programmer or the universe, here's a rule of when it comes to manifesting what you want. The less attached you are to things, the more abundant you will become. That's one of the rules of the game. The less attached you are to any particular outcome, the less you are attached to people, to circumstances, to your desires, the more abundance will flow into your life. That's a rule of the game. And it's so interesting how the game works because, you know, for each rule of the game, we can actually go break down and see like, oh, this is how it works, you know. It's not like I'm sitting here and just making stuff up and saying, well, this is how the game works. But I can actually go into the game and I can show you from a scientific aspect of how the game works. See, that's how you know that, okay, this stuff is maybe true. Because look, there's evidence of it. So let's use the first evidence of the part of the rules of the game now, that the less you are attached, the more abundance will come into your life. So how can I explain that part of the game to you from a scientific aspect to show you what's happening. I can do it just like this. The first part of the rule of the game is the games, the software or the creation of the game comes in these parts. They come in energy particles. And the next part of the game, every particle has a charge to it. You're a particle, I'm a particle, everything is a particle, and we give off a charge. When a charge gives off, we call that oscillation or vibration. So that means I'm a walk-in vibration. You're a walk-in vibration because you are made up of all these parts, these particles, okay? So we all giving off charge. Now, when we give off charge, okay, there's also creates what's called magnetism. So we give off electric charge, which creates magnetism. Hence, in physics, they call it the electromagnetic wave. We're all giving off that, okay? I'm breaking down the game to you about the less you attach, the more you're going to attract, okay? So now that, okay, so I'm giving off these charge. Now, the other part of how the game works is now there's a polarity. So what I give off will reflect an opposite of what I receive. That's a part of the game. So there's another part of the game now that's built into the game, and this is the cheat code that you don't know about the game. The cheat code in the game says that because I'm a particle and everything is also a particle, everything is also in me and a part of me. So the very things that I want or I desire, I don't have to go out and chase them or become attached to them because they are already around my space. That's in the fine print of the game. You know, like, all right, let me show you something. Make it simple for you. Like if you know, like when you get like a contract or you sign up for something on a website, it's just click, click, click. But at the bottom of it, no one ever reads the fine print. Like they got all these fine print stuff down there. But in this case, the fine print is very good. It's very good, but nobody reads the fine print. The fine print of the game says, oh, by the way, since you're going to play this game, I have to tell you something that you don't have to actually try hard or chase because everything you want, we already put in a part of you. They put that in the fine print. And most people don't read the fine print. That's why people struggle. That's why people try to chase. That's why people try hard. This is why people get attached. This is why people get brokenhearted. And this is why people are confused because they're thinking maybe if I chase this or maybe if I become attached to it, I will get it. But remember the part of the game works, how particles charge off each other. So the more I chase, the more I need, the more I attach, the farther I push it away. And that's because we don't understand and no one reads the fine print of that game. How do you bring someone back through manifestation? Visualization. That takes me to the next part of the game. There's another fine print to the game now that you don't read as well. So the game says, all right, welcome to this reality. Welcome to your life in the 3D world. So the fine print says, oh, I also input another cheat code to the game. If you can practice visualizing in your mind's eye, you will get to the next level of the game a lot faster and you will actually beat the game and get what you want. Someone asked me, how do you attract? By visualizing and by letting go. So the next fine print of the game that people don't read now is the art of visualization or your imagination. And keep in mind now, they put it in fine print. You know, it's in fine print because when I mean fine print, it's there, but no one understands the science and it's out there. But fine print means they don't put it out in the mainstream for you to understand it. In a lot of spiritual community, you may understand it, but in a normal sense on television or in schools, they'll never tell you these two parts of the game. The two parts of the rules of the game is this, that you already are a part of everything you want. All you have to do is let go, and so the space will clear for it to come into you. And the second part of the game, the rule I'll tell you is, if you can see stuff in your mind's eye, you can bring stuff into reality. So question is, how does this guy know this stuff? How do I know this stuff to be true, right? How does what you're here sitting talking to me? So do you have any proof or evidence that what you're teaching us or showing us is true? Yes, I have big proof. Somebody just said, didn't you manifest your car? Yes, this is one of my car right here. This is my very rare 2004 Dakar Yellow E46 M3. Right now, this car is worth over 100 grand right now if I'm going to sell this car. But I'm not going to sell this car. When I bought this car, I bought it for 35K. They only made one of 10 of this particular M3 in the world. And I happen to have one of them. And how did I do it? I manifested it through visualization and winning the lottery. That's how I discovered all of this was a game. An aspect of visualization was the most important or pertinent part of my desire. Because when I realized that I could see stuff in my mind's eye, I put it to the test. I did this for 1 year straight. I would visualize every night because it made me feel good. I would see myself in this very car. I would see myself going to the lottery office. I would even see how the day what would look like when I checked the ticket and all that good stuff. Da da da. You know what happened? You want to know what happened? It came out exactly the way I seen it in my head. Listen, this is very important. Listen to what I'm saying. I'll repeat it again. It came out exactly the way I see it in my head, in my reality. Let that sink in. How can I see something in my head? And it became everything to a T that I visualize. Walking into the Publix store, put my ticket on the machine. The machine says top prize, claim a lottery. All of that came exactly me walking outside the store, stunned for a minute because I was in a different state because I was so confused because it was to a point I couldn't tell if I was in the reality or in my head. That's how real it was. So that's how I know that this stuff is a game. And then the next part of it is the world of quantum physics, the science of how all of this stuff works. And that's how I can teach people and show people that what they are doing right now, they're doing it the wrong way because they haven't read the fine print. My biggest win, uh, about 500,000. Was one time biggest one was 500,000, but over time I won pretty much comfortable money. Put it like that. So money that I don't need to abundance. I'm good. Put it like that. I'm very good. Um, but that's not the point though, guys. The point is that you can do anything you want if you understand this is a game. And I keep harping on game because I want your minds to accept the fact that it's a game. Because if you can accept the fact it's a game, you're going to change your whole perception of this world. You're not going to take it so seriously. And that's the first step to understand how this stuff works. You cannot take everything so seriously, including yourself. Hmm? So what did you do daily to change the game? That's a great question. So what I did daily to change the game, because now remember now how the game works, right? What I perceive in my head and my mind, it's going to be a reflection in the 3D world. So what I started to do every day to change the game now, I would start to focus more on what I want and focus less on what I don't want. For example, now I would start, let's use the lottery because that's what I was doing for a while. So every day what I would do was I would just constantly put myself in this euphoric state of what it would feel like to win the lottery. I would see myself driving to the office. I would see myself buying stuff. I would see, so that's what I did to change the game for me. And then every day I would do that, and I would just get so into it. Then the tickets would keep getting, the wins would just get bigger and bigger and bigger, and until I hit the big jackpot. But that's one aspect of the game. So from the lottery, so I got the lottery now, so I moved to the next aspect of the game now, just changing the reality and just abundance and helping people and doing my purpose. And so my advice for you is, if you want to change the game, you have to change how you look at the game or at your reality. And now, here's another fine print in the game that they don't tell you. They give you another cheat code in the game. You got to go to the fine print, right? Remember, people don't read that fine print, man. People just sign and go in. They don't understand what's up. So the fine print will be very good. I want to manifest a blue car parked next to you, behind your seat if it happens. Okay, I'll check it out. I'll look for you. So here's another fine print that they don't tell you about the game that you should do right now. And if you do this stuff, you can do this. You can turn this on right now. Here's the next fine print they put. They say, oh, by the way, also, it's really easy to master this game if you develop one type of mindset. And the mindset that you can develop is called being an optimist. Optimism. Like what I talk about, seeing the glass half full instead of half empty. So I started to develop the optimism stuff, right? So what I started to do now, I started to think about the best situation that could happen for me. See how that works? The best situation that could happen for me. Now, it took time to do that. Now, I'm not going to front to you guys that one day I just got up and I just became this optimistic guy. No, it didn't work like that, man. Well, there is delusional optimism, and then there's what we call reality optimism. And I'm speaking about reality optimism here, not delusional optimism here. So what reality optimism is that I would see my situation, and then I would see the best outcome for my particular situation. If I could see the best outcome for my particular situation, my brain can grasp that concept because it's something it can see as well. If my brain can see that, then it can reflect to me. Now, someone says delusional optimism. Delusional optimism now is something that you're thinking about that goes way beyond your mind's conception of what could happen in reality. In other words, it's like you're going from reality to fantasy, and that's going to put your mind out of sync. So I just started to look at the best outcome for my situation. And it was a fight at first because my ego would try to pull me back in to show me what is, not what was. See that? See how that works? What's the difference between delusional optimism and regular optimism? A delusional optimism is someone that kinds of sees something, but they see it in such a way that it becomes like a fantasy thing. It becomes like, to them, it becomes unreachable. That's what I call delusional. When something that becomes possible now is called regular optimism. That's the difference. Okay? Yes, because that's correct. Someone says it. My positive thoughts became my reality. You can watch all these live. They're posted on my YouTube channel, Mark Haughton. Once I can save them, they all go up there. So what with that now? That's so. Listen, let's do a replay, right? A review here. So the fine print, right? In the fine print, there's 3 things we discovered in the fine print, right? One of them in the fine print that says you are what you already are. So everything you are, you want. Stuff you don't have to chase or anything. The second part of the fine print says if you can become an expert in visualizing, an art of visualizing, you're going to change the game. The third part of the fine print says, hey man, if you become an optimist, the game will even start to change better for you. Okay? So, back to the question the person asked me. Say, Mark, how do you handle tough times? I don't see times as tough. I just see times of changing and evolving. See how my language is different now? Mark, what about success or failure? None of that exists in my vocabulary. All that I see is I am truth, abundance. There is no failure. What I see is a feedback system. When something says somebody fails, or Mark, before I used to think I failed, now I just look at things as a feedback. It's like, okay, the universe is reverberating back to me. Someone asked me about a blue car. There it was. It just passed me. You just manifested the blue car. But see, it just passed in the back. So, I did was I started to become also more aware of what's going on around me, and that changed the whole game. I saw your audiobook. Not sure if site is legit. Where can I find it? Oh yeah, that brings me to a point, guys. So I want to make this look. Last night I got a message on Instagram from one of my followers. So look, there's this someone's out there impersonating my likeness and my images to sell some kind of software, a lottery software. That's not me. And they're creating email lists with my name and likeness and pretending to be me to get you to buy the product. So if you get any email from Mark Haughton with a software, with a lottery software, to sell a lottery software, it's not me. You're going to only find the real Mark Haughton through my YouTube channel, and all my links to my direct contacts are there. So if you don't find it there, it's not going to be me. And my websites, 2 websites, you will always find my products: mindcenterworld.com, Mark Haughton Quantum Vibrational Numbers.com. Those are my only 2 authentic sites. So please, please, please be careful, because there are people out there that are using my likeness and image to try to sell you stuff and scam you out. You can get my book. Amazon has my book. My websites have my book. If you're not sure where to get my authentic stuff, go to any of my YouTube channel. Go to any of the descriptions. Go to the links. All my stuff is there. But I have to repeat it again. There's someone using this lottery software thing, and they're using me, and they're trying to get you to sign up for some VIP club and da-da-da. If you want to know more, you can go to my Facebook group. I'll show you the screenshots of the email they're sending people to pretend in me. So please, please, please. All right. Back to, I'm going to manifest a yellow car next to you for behind you. Okay, let's do it. Yeah. Mark, do you believe in reincarnation? Yes, yes, yes. Because listen, this is a game, guys. Here's the thing about reincarnation, man. Did you know that all of you have been here before? Okay? Check this out. You've been here before so many times that you've mastered every single possible outcome there is. The reason you can't pull all that stuff up is because when you got here, your brain hasn't developed the capacity to bring back all of your past life experiences so you can be an expert in everything. That's the only reason you can't remember it. Some people can remember their past life if they do past life regression through their subconscious, but it's all there. Because if you think about it, right, a particle, we are particles, and particles, we create what's called consciousness, mind. So you have the ability to be aware. Interesting thing is, guys, your spirit or who you are can't die. Death can only happen to a physical body. That's going to decay. That's called entropy. Everything decays. Entropy. But the consciousness of who you are, that can never decay, man. That has to go back to the source. It has to go back to the universe, to consciousness. And then what happens is, everything is this information, right? And when it goes back to this information plateau, you go back into the information system as your consciousness, then the information recalibrates, and then whoop, whoop, it pops you back out into this earth, or a parallel earth. By the way, there are parallel earths. There are infinite versions of you. So you come to this earth, you're going to be another earth, and guess what? It will all look the same to you, like you've never left. You won't, you'll never see the difference. The only difference is you may come back as somebody else, but you may have the remembrance from when you're a baby. This is why kids remember their past life and reincarnation up to the age of 6, because what happens is they're in full subconscious mode. They're in theta mode, so they can retrieve all the information from their past life and reincarnated lives. So what happens to kids after 7 or 8 years old? They tend to forget their past life. Why do they forget their past life and reincarnation? And you can go look this up. Study shows that most people that remembers their reincarnated past life are kids between the age of 3 to 9. 3 to 9. After that, when they grow up, they forget about it. So what caused you to forget your past life? It's called your critical divide. It's a psychological filter that develops between the conscious and the subconscious, and that develops around it from the age to 8 to 10. So the critical divide is the part of your mind that deals with reasoning and protection and awareness. The critical divide is the learning mechanism. It's when I touch a fire, when I'm a baby and I touch the fire, I get burned. I'm going to remember that. That's my critical divide is going to remind me and say, hey, Mark, if you touch the fire, you're going to get burned. And I say, oh, I'm not going to do it. That's why babies, they don't have critical divides. That's why they can touch everything. You got to tell the baby doesn't have the critical divide to see. If the baby sees the flame, he's going to touch the flame. Only when the baby touches the flame and he gets burned, the critical divide will start to develop, but not yet. It starts. So that's the critical divide. That's why you forget your past life. Oh, see how that works? Ironic that is from 3 to 9. That's called the neonatal state. Neonatal state is when you're from 0 to around 9 years old, or between that neonatal state. Did you know that from the age of 0 to around 7 years old, you're predominantly in a theta state? That's the meditative, hypnotic, manifesting state. That's why kids have so much great imagination. That's why kids can manifest a lot easier, because they don't have resistance if they know how to do it. But after around 8 to 9, we start to develop and compartmentalize the other states of our brain. We then go into the delta, well, it's not delta, we then go into the beta state. Delta, gamma are there when we're sleeping. But the predominant state we develop is called beta. That's our everyday knowing. That's the ego state of observing all that. But this is why it's so easy for you to be programmed, because you're in a hypnotic state from 0 to around 7 or 8 years old. And this is why your subconscious soaks up everything. And this is why some of us have so much toxic, and we have all these limiting beliefs, because our subconscious can't differentiate what is real or what is imagined, or to take it seriously or to take it truth, because your ego, the conscious mind, hasn't developed, the critical that hasn't developed. By the time you're 9 or 10, it's too late. We have all these emotions and beliefs that aren't even ours. I want you to think about that. Here's what I'm saying to you guys. That listen. I'm just telling you that the majority of our true beliefs, guys, aren't yours. They aren't even mine. They're like our father, our mother, whatever we surround with. They're watching TV all day, watching a soap opera, whatever your mom's watching and your baby watching it. That becomes your belief, and then what happens? It gets hidden down, that you don't know about it, but it shows up in other ways when you develop your critical divide and your conscious mind. And that's why we have this. That's why we have like struggles and all this stuff, because deep down we have this emotion fighting against our regular thoughts. What are some signs that you are close to your manifestation? All right, there are many signs, and you know them, but I'm going to give you the one most powerful sign. This is the only sign. If you're really close to manifest, this is the sign you look for. I'll go over some of them. We know about the synchronicities. We know about the mirroring. But here's the one you should look for. This is when you know you're close to manifesting. When it seems like your world is turning upside down. When it seems like everything is going haywire. When you seem like someone put a spell on you. When you seem like everything you do is turning bad. That's the biggest sign that you're close to your manifestation. Remember I said it's a game? So I can even show you how that works according to science as well. So let's analyze that one. So why is it my life goes into chaos or the opposite when I'm manifesting something? And it has to do with what we call polarity and energy momentum. So here's what happens. Whenever you're about to experience a big breakthrough, a lot of stuff have to change. Your consciousness, your mentality have to change, and also your energy output has to change. And when you experience these negative things, they're like feedback. What you're experiencing is the old vibrational pattern mixing with the new pattern, which causes chaos. The chaos comes to you in the form of things going bad. That's what happens when you're about to manifest. Anytime you're about to manifest something, you have to become into a different state, man. If you're going to manifest abundance, you got to be in an abundant state. So think about it. If you're moving to an abundant state, you're leaving the lack state, right? The lack state, remember now, energy cannot be created or destroyed. So the lack state's not going to go anywhere right now. What's going to happen? The lack state is going to sit around and it's going to mix with the abundant state. But what's going to win out is the abundant state, because that's your dominant vibration. Your dominant vibration will always outwin any. So what happens, what you're experiencing is the abundance clashing with the lack. That comes in the form of all these mixed up stuff in your life. Like this, then eventually what happens, the abundance will eat up the lack, and then you will become in that abundant state. So that's the only sign. So if you're going to manifest something, if you're experiencing that sign, you're right there to manifest it. What about the indigenous that live in the Amazon forest? Yeah, what about them? What about the indigenous? What a question about them? So it's transferring that what? So it's transferring that old energy into the new. Actually, it's not transferring. Well, what happens is you're dissipating. So what happens is the um, the old energy dissipates, but remember, nothing can be created or destroyed. So what happens to the old energy? It goes in other forms, and this is another part that's infinite. So it could go into another dimension, wherever it goes. But what happens is it dissipates, and then you create what's called you create, not a create, but you. Uh, I want to see the easiest way for you to understand this. You invite new energy in, which is in the form of abundance, and it turns into that, and then you experience the abundance, because you cannot nothing can ever be created, nothing can ever be destroyed. If you go into your computer and you delete your files, they aren't deleted, they go back out into the universe. Nothing can ever be deleted. Information can never be destroyed. It goes back somewhere out there. If we had a technology, we could bring back all the information we want. Even you can't be deleted. You can be split. Your atoms can be split apart. If you go into the event horizon of a black hole where light can't escape it, and you get caught up between the pull of the gravity, it will string you like a spaghetti. It will be so. This is how powerful it is. It'll rip the atoms from your cells. Think about that. You'll become what they call a spaghettified. All of you will be splattered out as information across the black holes, going like this. But you aren't dead. That's just your information, because your conscious is out there. If we had technology, we can go back and pick up all your information and put you back together again, and you become yourself. In theory, that's possible. What do we do when things go wrong before manifesting? You do nothing. You just observe, stay low, keep your mind as positive as possible, and let the phase pass. That's the thing people do. People try to fix stuff that don't need to be fixed. They try to force stuff that don't need to be forced. And that's contributed to their ego, their conscious mind, because the mind is very panicked. The mind is very scared. The mind is always in a state of fear. And the mind is always looking into a projection of the future and the past, because it doesn't like change. So a lot of us, because we see things going in our life upside down, we try to fix it. Now look, I'm not telling you you're going to sit there and just like, what I'm saying to you is observe what's happening, and what you can control, you can control, but what you can't control, don't try to force anything, because you're just going to prolong the process, or you're just going to delay what's coming for you. So if you want to know the way to manifest stuff, the biggest sign is when your world starts going upside down. People start leaving you, seem like hiccups always happening, this is happening, you're like, and you're just no logical explanation for it. You're like, man, what the hell? I didn't even do anything. That's a great sign that you're about to come into your space. Hopefully that makes sense. How about the moment of now is out? How about the moment of now, of how it's out of my inspiration? When do I script date and time don't exist? How? Well, I think what you're saying is another sign is, and this is to answer your question. Another sign you're manifesting something is about to come true is you don't feel inspired or motivated about your desires as much anymore. That's because they've already manifested. Did you know that? When you don't feel like hype about it anymore. And again, I could go to my proof with the lottery, right? There was a space and time, there was a 4 months period when I didn't care about the lottery. I didn't even care about this car. I was like, man, if they sell the car goes. I was like, well, if it's meant for me, it'll come for me. I was in this space for 4 to 5 months where I wasn't motivated or inspired anymore as much. I would still visualize every now and then, but I kept buying my lottery tickets though. But I was just doing it because it was habit. And I was like, well, what the hell? But to me, it was like, man, I'm already in this too deep. I've already invested, so might as well keep going. That was my mentality. And then of course, the story. Boom, with like the 5th month, bam, I manifested the money from the lottery, and I bought this car cash, and the rest is history. So that's also another sign. So don't try to fix it. Don't try to force it. Don't think the universe is leaving you, or the universe is forgetting about you, or you're not qualified to get it. It's just that what happens is the mind and the body, right? There are two things, but they work together. And the interesting thing is that Whenever stuff manifests, the body will know first before the mind does. Because the body has billions of nerve cells or receptors that can pick up information before your brain does. So what happens when you lose motivation or inspired is the body picking up the information and going to the brain and telling the brain, hey, we've already got this. But the brain can't understand that. So to the brain thinks like, am I giving up? Am I not going to get it? But in fact, you already had manifested it already, because everything comes from the invisible form, what we call invisible. Invisible just means the way our senses work, we can't see it because we just use five senses, and we're missing 99% of the real senses. We don't have There's 99% of reality we can't see because we don't have the ability to see it. We only have five. But your body and the universe and the subconscious can pick stuff up, and you and I can't. What are you manifesting if you're going through a breakthrough? What do you mean? Can you elaborate on that? Can you visualize more than one thing? Yep. The art. So you want to become an artist, an expert in visualization. You can visualize as many things as you want. The only thing you do is you just go from scene to scene. You can visualize whatever you can conceive. You ever hear that saying? Whatever you can conceive, boom, you can what? Achieve. Did you visualize a certain amount? Yes. All I was visualizing was $35,000 to buy the car cash, because that was the price at the time. That was what I was visualizing. But then I just started saying, you know what? I'm just going to visualize winning to have more than enough money to buy the car. That's what it is. And in the universe, I manifested almost $70,000 in winning. And then I had more than enough to buy the car and more money left over. But you don't have to visualize a certain amount. You just visualize more than enough to have what you want. It's all about alignment. Someone says that. Yes. Alignment. So do you guys know what alignment really means? We hear that a lot, right? People always say to you, hey man, you got to get in alignment, man. But no one really knows what alignment means, man. Can anybody tell me what alignment really means? Because I'll tell you I'm going to explain to you what alignment means when you're aligned, so that you can know when you're manifesting. Because we hear that a lot. So I have a test for you guys. Can someone tell me what it means to be aligned? Alignment. Same frequency. That's correct. But I want the deeper answer. I want the how, what. I want what creates alignment, man. Thoughts. Yeah, that's part of it. So we have thoughts and frequency. When you thought or action matches up, yes. When your conscious mind lines up with the subconscious. There you go. That's the answer. So someone's been watching my videos, huh? That's alignment. When your conscious mind desires matches up with your subconscious intentions or desires. When both of the mind become friends, that's alignment. There's no resistance, and you're going to easily manifest. That's it. I'll give you an example of what alignment is. When I say to myself, I use the lottery, I'm going to win the lottery, and I'm going to do this. Then my subconscious mind accepts it and reverses it back and says, Mark's going to win the lottery and he's going to do this. That's alignment. So my subconscious mind now is going to work along with my conscious mind to make my dream come true, because there's no resistance. That's what alignment is. The majority of the time, though, it's not like that. The majority of the time is the subconscious mind wants something and the conscious wants something else, and they fight a lot. That's why you have to bring them to alignment. And the issue most of the time is not your conscious mind, it's your subconscious mind. Your conscious mind knows what it wants because it can see, it can think, it can reason, it can rationalize. That's the easy part. The subconscious can't do any of that stuff. So the subconscious is stubborn and it likes to hold stuff in. Right? Can you explain Newton's third law of motion? Well, I mean, Newton's third law of motion is talking about momentum and cause and effect. When things are moved, nothing's ever at rest. Everything's at move, constant particle vibration in simplest terms. But that's how you Newton's third law of motion. Um, everything creates momentum. When you push something, if you push something off, it's going to gather momentum or speed. That's part of manifesting. Nothing is ever at rest. Do you think about it just before you sleep? Yes. Another key to create what you want is you must make sure that when you're falling asleep, because you're going to enter the theta state, you have to give your mind food to manifest, whether good or bad. And that's more powerful because when you're in a theta state, you're in a hypnotic, influential state. Information is so much easier for your subconscious to bring in and to manifest. But let me go back to the alignment thing because I really want you to get how this stuff works. So your conscious mind can think and reason and rationalize, so it knows what it wants. So that's easy. That's easy for you. So you can know what you want. The problem now is your subconscious doesn't work that way. Your subconscious is going to hold some emotions and beliefs that aren't in alignment with your conscious. So when you go into your conscious mind and you say, I want to have a successful job, I want to be able to have a healthy relationship, just an example, or I want to do this or that, that's the first stage now. So your conscious mind now is sending it to the subconscious mind to accept it, to make. The thing about the subconscious mind is a servant to your conscious mind. So the subconscious mind will usually listen to your conscious mind. But the problem is the subconscious mind is a program. It's like a computer. So it's going to have its own database. So what happens is now the subconscious will check with its database before it listens to you, your conscious mind. So your conscious mind will say, I want to have this abundance, da da da. Subconscious mind says, okay, let me check in my database if anything matches. And a lot of the time it doesn't match because all of us from when we were kids, we were programmed through the matrix to be in fear and lack from your family, from your father and mother, all that stuff. So 99% of the time, subconscious is going to come back with a no. It's going to say, no, this is what I have. And it gets worse. Not only is the subconscious going to say no, it's going to reinforce the old belief and sabotage your conscious mind to make you go and sabotage yourself. In other words, if you say, I'm ready to be abundant, have a healthy relationship, and be my best person, the subconscious mind is going to say, no, we ain't ready for that because I remember when we were kids, we used to be abused, and you ain't good enough, you ain't got enough money, so let me just rub it in for you more. I'm just going to make you see reality like you're not good enough, you don't have enough money, and you're going to get confused and say, what the hell's going on? Why am I not succeeding? Why I keep messing myself up? It's not you, it's your subconscious mind overriding your conscious logical mind because it controls actions and habits. See how that's powerful. That's another fine print in the game that they don't tell you. Is state of being and frequency the same? No. A frequency is something that is a constant motion. Or if you look at a frequency as a set point in the universe, it's already built in. So frequencies are there for everything. There's a frequency for money, abundance, success. So there's different wavelengths for that. A state of being now is being receptive to all of those frequencies. State of being can only happen when you're locked in the present moment. What if our parents are NPCs? By the way, NPCs mean non-player characters. That's the majority of people in the Matrix call them NPCs. It's nothing bad, just saying that a lot of people in the Matrix, they are just part of the program and they haven't woken up yet, so they're following like what the Matrix says and all that. They call them NPC. Like video games, they got these. If you play a video game, you got all these characters walking around. It's part of the game to make the facade look real. They call them NPCs. Even if your parents, probably most of your parents are going to be NPCs. Nothing wrong with that, right? I mean, NPC is an NPC. My parents are NPCs, but some NPCs can wake up and some can't. So, but if they're NPCs, that I'm just showing you, the majority of our beliefs are going to mess us up in our subconscious mind. How to know the sub what? See this question here. How to know the sub and conscious mind are now working together? Okay, that's a good question. So how do I know when I'm in alignment and my subconscious is working to manifest stuff for me? Well, it's pretty simple, guys. Things are going to start to go your way. That's it. Like when you want something and you want something, it's going to manifest. You're going to notice it's going to be a lot easier. You're going to notice it's going to be, I'm not saying it's going to like fall into your lap, like you're going to sit back, but sometimes it can, depending on what it is. But the majority, you're going to notice how things are just lined up for you. Things come out of the blue for you. People just approach you differently. You get promotions. You'll notice the difference, man. You'll be like, whoa, because it's a program. So that's how you'll know when you're aligned, when things just start going good for you. I'll give you a big secret to let you know when you're aligned. Babies and animals. Guys, like, people are like, who's this guy talking about? Babies and animals. Yes. If you want to test if you're aligned, go find a baby and go find an animal. Let me show you what happens. Babies are in the theta state. So they are truth. They don't have any corruption yet. So if you go to a baby and you're walking by, if the baby's looking at you, smiling at you, laughing at you, you're walking somewhere and a stranger baby just looking at you like this, laughing, playing with you, that's a good sign you're in alignment, because the baby picks up your energy, because the baby's pure. But if the baby's like looking at you and like scared or cries, and you try to pick up the baby's there, you go wave at the baby don't look at you, then your energy is off. Animals, if you're walking around and the bird like flies on your car, doesn't kind of fear you, but he flies away. The squirrel come up to you. The ducks start, if you're at the park walking, the ducks is like around you. Pets be looking at you, smiling, waving their tail at you. You're in alignment. So if you want to read your energy, that's why I say test babies and animals. Because the thing about animals and kids are in the neonatal state. Babies, kid like a 2-year-old to a 4-year-old kid, they have a lot of theta brainwave going on. So they're able to pick up energy, pure energy. So they don't have anything to coagulate, to mess them up, so to speak. So they can pick up when you're positive or if something's off about you. Same thing with pets. Pets are even more sensitive because they operate more in their instinctual pattern. They pick up senses on an instinctual level because they don't have frontal lobar cortex. They don't have ability to perceive time. Pets are always in the present moment. Animals, for example, they don't have any time friction. They don't know the month and day. So they're constantly stuck in the present. So if they're in the present, they're more connected with the environment and the energy. Therefore, they can pick up when you're a good or a bad person. Bugs, same thing. So if you want to go test your skills, I gave it to you. Go find a baby and go find a pet. If the baby and the pet are with you, congratulations, man. You're in alignment. It means your vibration is good. You're on point to manifest something. That's how you test your vibration. On the other hand, if you don't have it, if something's off, it's okay. You learn. You're like, man, let me go work on my vibration. You can always work on your vibration. Yo, listen. The key is when we're going to manifest or bring something in, there's 2 components to it, all right? More energy, higher vibration. Repeat it. More energy, higher vibration. So what do I mean by that? Whenever things come into existence, the more energy we put to something, the faster it's going to manifest. Okay? We call that critical mass. Energy will expand, right? Break through reality. So what is your energy? Your energy is your focus. What I focus on the most, I'm putting more energy to that. I'm going to manifest a lot faster. Now, while I'm focusing on that, it goes into my vibration now. My vibration now, how do I bring my vibration up? When I focus on what I want. That's going to raise my vibration. See that? I put more energy on what I want versus what I don't want. I'm going to manifest it a lot faster than someone who focus on it sometimes and they get off of it and they go back into like what's wrong with their life, why it's not working, and they pick back up again. So if you want to manifest something what you call fast, the more your focus is keen on it and you raise your vibration. Now you can do other stuff to raise your vibration. You can get in plenty of sleep, raises your vibration. Intermittent fasting will raise your vibration. Laughter will raise your vibration. Gratitude and being of service to others will raise your vibration. Giving will raise your vibration. Nature raise your vibration. So your food, certain foods can raise your vibration. There's plenty of ways to raise your vibration. So you see how that works? What I like from the Laser podcast that you say true is my identity. Yes, the podcast. Yes, your identity. Someone says you're a bit off though. Can you explain what do you mean? Herbs raise your vibration. Ever notice a baby stops and pays attention to you? Yes. Listen, people are like this, guys. People don't look at you because the only time people will pay attention to you guys is if there's something unique or to you or something that pulls them. If there's nothing unique to you, people aren't going to see you. They're going to just walk on by. Same thing with kids. So if a baby's like paying attention to you and looking at you and fascinated with you, it's your aura, it's your energy. They're picking up something good. If you're off, the kid going to ignore you, man. They don't care about you. You may try to get their attention like this. Hey, the kid just look at you and look away and look at his mom and just because your energy. But if you look at the kid, he's like waving back at you. That's a good sign. That means, hey, this baby notices that you are very connected. You going out barefoot in the grass to ground, yes, that will raise your vibration. Getting plenty of sunlight raises your vibration. Going by the water, anything but water, the lake or the beach raises your vibration. So because you're connected to everything. Synchronicities will come in as the signs to your destination to manifest. So when you see the ones and the twos and all that stuff, it's just showing you that you're on course to do it. So for those questions about if you know, because dogs and children attract to me, they stop and notice me. Yep. Someone says, "Oh my God, literally had a bird on my car this morning, and it would not get off when I drive." That's a good sign. That means your vibration you're in alignment to receive it. Crystals too raises your vibration. I forgot to put crystals. And someone says hugging trees. Yep. But the key for you guys is, look, you want to get in alignment. Get in alignment. So how do I get in alignment? Remember, your conscious mind is the easy part, but you got to get to the subconscious. Your subconscious is the faulty part of the process. And we have to become masters of our unconscious to become conscious. I know it sounds contradictory, right? Become masters of the unconscious to become conscious. But yet, check this out. But yet, we are 95% unconscious. But yet, we are conscious. That means 95% of our lives are run by something you and I can't control. We're like robots. We are programmed. All of our habits, even the way we think, what we think, are influenced by our unconscious mind 95% of the time. So do you see how important it is now that you have to get your subconscious mind fixed? Yes. Someone mentioned here, who's this? Cool says it's about having the awareness of the subconscious mind. Yes, having the awareness of the subconscious mind and then going in and then change it. So let me give you some tips on some methods that you can influence your subconscious mind. I'm sure you've heard it before. Maybe some of these you haven't heard, but I'll focus on a couple of them right now. Everyone knows subliminals, everyone knows hypnosis, all that, but let's talk about some that you can use right now if you can't use auto hypnosis, subliminals, or hypnosis, or hypnotize yourself. But you can definitely do these right here. Anyone can do them. One of the most powerful tools to access the subconscious is images, metaphors, and symbols, and languages. Let me make that. Images, metaphors, symbols, language. All of you can do that right now. That can help to start to change your subconscious mind. Talk out loud, yes, with the languages. So let's break them down. What you say out loud and what you say in your head, your subconscious mind takes it for real. Let me repeat that. Anything you say out loud or say in your head repeatedly, not just randomly, but if you do this every day or more often. Example, I'm always late. I'm just not good. I'm okay at making money. I'm decent at this. My weakness is I'm just not focused enough. Yeah, I'm good, but I'm not good at this. When you say things like that, to you, it sounds like I'm just being real with myself. Yeah, you're going to be real with yourself. Your subconscious is going to be realer with you because it's going to make you become more of those things because you cannot think. So people who keep saying, I'm good at this, I'm not good at that, they're going to keep the same pattern. They're always going to be late. They're always going to make just enough money to get by. They're always just going to be this. They're always going to be average, whatever they want to be. It's always going to be that way because their subconscious believes that's what they want. So you can fix that, right? That's easy to fix. So how do you fix it? Be aware of your self-talk, people. Be aware of what you talk around yourself and in your head. Okay, that's one. Let me give you another one that can become a master of the subconscious. The people you hang around with, they can affect your subconscious. So before I go back, let me go how to show you now how to fix your self-talk, man. Awareness. You got to start to monitor what you're saying in your head. And then when not only monitor, you got to change it. You got to change the tone of your talk. You got to go from the negative to the positive. You got to start telling your subconscious the story you wanted to play. Man, I'm so great at this. I'm the best at doing this. Someone says, hey man, you know you're not good at that. Your family say that. Say, oh, no. I've gotten better now. I'm really good at that now. See? Before you'd be like, yeah, but I'm trying. Don't ever say the word trying to your subconscious either. I'm trying to manifest this money, Mark. I'm trying to manifest this lottery, Mark. I'm trying to manifest good health, Mark. I'm trying to manifest a relationship, Mark. I've been trying to manifest this for long. Don't ever use the word trying to your subconscious. Because when you say the word trying, it's like I'm failed. It's stop. Trying to your subconscious says you've already failed. Give you how the mind works. Never say the word try. Just say I'm doing it. I'm manifesting this. I'm doing that. The next one is the people. The people you associate with are the people you are watching, your mentors, your role models, your friends, your surroundings. They affect your subconscious as well. Why is that? Because your subconscious don't know people. It don't know the TV show. What it does, it takes the people you talk about and it turns it into you. It thinks you are those people because it can't see them, it has no awareness of them. It just have awareness of what your feedback is to it. So if you have a friend that's always negative, always telling you his sob story, her sob story, your subconscious believes that's your sob story too, and it's going to make you experience the thing your friend's experiencing if you keep doing it long enough. And then people say to themselves, damn, why I end up like my friend? Why am I getting the same stuff like my friend? Now you know why. That's important. Do you see how that works? So, okay. So the first two simple tips you can do to start changing your subconscious. By the way, the subconscious is called the map of reality, the blueprint. Subconscious has a map of reality. And we call it faulty map of reality when you're not getting what you want. So you have to start to be cautious of the people you're surround yourself with. You got to be cautious of what you say in your head. Now, the self-talk, someone mentioned the self-talk. Now, that is very powerful to really change the subconscious. And that's what I've been doing for years, and I'm teaching my students, and I'm teaching all my followers, tribes, everyone that's following me. And it's so powerful because when you can talk out loud, it reverberates a vibration. It's power. And not only when you talk out loud, but if you talk out loud in a certain way, the subconscious, here's something you don't know about your subconscious. A fine print they don't tell you about the subconscious is the subconscious likes to action and do stuff. Your subconscious is very eager to prove stuff to you. It's called a prover mind. So when I talk out loud in a question, my subconscious will prove my question and answer my question as my reality. So it's not like a self-talk, like I say, I am wealthy. My subconscious ain't going to do nothing with that. When I say, hey, subconscious, I just say, hey, man, why am I so wealthy? I'm going to become so wealthy. Because my subconscious takes the challenge down and says, oh, this guy's wealthy. Even if you only got $2 in your bank account, and you get up every day and you keep saying to yourself, why am I so wealthy? Why am I the best at what I do? Why do I have more than enough money to live the life I desire? Why do people love making me rich? Da 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 da. And you got $2 in your bank account. In a short amount of time, your bank account gonna be overflowing. You're gonna have so much money coming in. You're gonna have so much opportunities coming in. Because your subconscious sees that to prove that to you and make you experience the thing you're questioning it for. That's how the subconscious works. Now, the bad thing about that is people do this all the time, but you know what they do it? They do it the wrong way. They always say this, damn, man, why I can't get what I want, man? Why this always happens to me, man? Why people keep playing me? Why I can't get enough money? I hate it when They do it every day. and they get the same results. So that's they don't, maybe now you can, if you're someone watching this, maybe this will help you now, because now you will realize, like, man, where you've been messing up at. So the questions will change the subconscious blueprint. The other part now is the images. So if you're a person and you're really good at seeing stuff in your mind, you're going to be a master of your reality. That's called visualization. I am very good at visualizing. That's how I won the lottery. And I wasn't at first. I practiced, and you can do it too, but it is so powerful, man. There's science behind that too. That's called neuroplasticity. When the brain cells wire together, fire together, they create images, because there's no difference between reality or fiction according in your mind. So if you can see images in your mind of you, some people can see in first person or third person, doesn't matter. But as long as you can see it, if I can see an image in my mind of me experiencing something, in the end though, not a story. I don't have to put a story of how I'm going to get what I want. I just go in my mind, see me having the thing, doing the thing, experiencing the thing. If you can do that, you're going to influence your subconscious to change. Someone says, I am that, Mark, great at visualizing things. Yes. The secret power for you to develop is you become great at visualizing. You will outwin everybody at your job, in your life, in your career. People will look at you and think like you're like some gypsy magician or something. Because they're going to keep wondering, like, how the heck this guy keep getting what they want. They don't know your secret. Your visualize. Another fine print they don't show you in the game. See, this game is built with so many cheat codes. But they deliberately put the cheat codes in a fine print where you can't see it. Only they can see the cheat code, because they know the cheat code. Because even though they didn't create reality, they created the matrix, but they know the rules of the matrix, and they know the rules of the human mind and human consciousness. So they don't want to broadcast it out to all of you, because if they give you all the cheat codes, then they can't control you people. So, but what they have to do, they still have to put the cheat codes in fine print. They have to let it be known though. So they put it in fine print, where most people don't read the fine print. They just sign the contract and they never read fine prints. So the visualization is symbols will change your subconscious mind. Mark, answer Joe. Where's Joe? I got so much questions. I don't see Joe here. Joe. What do you think of the book Becoming Supernatural? I never read the book, but I heard about it. I think it's Joe Dispenza. But yeah, it's basically talking about the ability to change your world using your mind to change your body. I think Joe Dispenza had like paralyzed, and he changed his whole life, right? Yeah, that is actually true. It's called epigenetics. And again, it just affirms or reaffirms that mind is matter, right? Our mind creates matter. Sitting in my dream car, Mark. Yeah, that's good, man. You gotta say, that I'll give you another tip. Look, before I got this car here, before I won the lottery and I bought this car, you know that I've already, that's why I said visualization is so powerful. I've already, a year before I won the lottery, I already knew the car was mine. So to the point that I went and bought like a steering wheel cover and a mat for a car I didn't have. It wasn't in existence. I didn't know how I was going to get it. I was playing the lottery, but you don't know. And I bought it before because I was convinced at the science of how the brain works and the mind. And I said, okay, if I visualize this stuff, according to neuroscience and according to quantum physics, which are proven theories, then I said, man, if I do this and I stick to it, I'm going to see results. And voila. So if you're someone and you want to manifest something, you got to see it. And then the thing about the subconscious is, I give you tips on cars. I told people, I said, you want to manifest a car? Go buy the keys to the car you want. You want a Bentley? Go buy, they have the replica Bentley keys you can buy, put on your keychain. They got the fake Bentley keys, the fake Porsche keys, Lamborghini keys. They have those keys you can buy, man. Because people, your subconscious don't know the difference. It's all a game. You walking around with a Bentley key on your thing. You see that every day. Your minds think you have a Bentley, and it's going to create a Bentley for you. You're going to get a Bentley one day. You're going to sit back and you're not even going to be like, damn, I just realized how I manifested this Bentley, man. I had this damn key here. I didn't realize it. Or you can buy the miniature car version of your car. Lamborghini, Porsche, BMW, whatever. Buy the little miniature version of the car and put it in with you and have it. Look at it every day. You're going to manifest it. Or if you have your regular car and you want a Mercedes, draw the Mercedes emblem and put it on the front of your car dashboard, man. Your minds don't know the difference, man. So if your mind is a prover mind, can you manifest? Can you manifest 1 hour before the lottery in the present of now? No. So you have to understand how your subconscious mind works. There is no such thing as hours in the subconscious. The subconscious doesn't manifest with time because it doesn't exist there. According to your subconscious, everything is happening all at once right this moment. But they're just in different spaces or coordinates. Over here is the lottery. Over there is your best version, your body. Over there is the relationship you want. Over there is your confidence. But they're still in the space of now. So the mind is going to manifest at what you call the perfect time for you, which only your higher self knows and subconscious knows. So for example, with me, when I won at the perfect time for me. And it was the perfect time. And I could show you the science behind this as well. Let me tell you the story about this one. If I had won the lottery when I wanted to win the lottery, my ego wanted to win the lottery, I would have been messed up. But see, the universe, my mind knew the exact time. See, what happened was, there was one time I wanted this car so bad, and I was like, man, I need to manifest this fast. Now, I thought to myself, man, if I manifest this car like that month when I wanted it, I'd have had to spend an extra $20K in upgrades. Because what happened was, at one point, the owner of this car, because the car had been sitting so long, it's like 2 years, right? And every time someone would come and buy the car, something would happen where they couldn't get the car. So the car was like waiting for me. Every time someone would get the car, it was like, nope, I'm not coming to you. I'm not coming to you. The car was literally waiting for me. So the owner did some like upgrades to it. He spent like $20,000. Now, if I had manifested the car before then, I would have been $20,000 to upgrade the car. See, so everything, so the universe waited for the guy to put $20,000 in. So the car was perfect. So when I got the car, no problems. Perfect timing. That's how it works, guys. So you can't think like, okay, I'm going to manifest 1 hour. It doesn't work that way. You're just going to manifest in divine time. That's the only thing you have no control over. Sorry to tell you that. You cannot control when your mind is going to manifest what you want in divine timing. That's out of your hands. It's going to happen at the perfect time for you. Whenever it happens, that's when it happens. If it happens tomorrow, that means it was a perfect time for you. If it happens a month, it was a perfect time for you. So don't sweat that. People try to do that. People try to control the time and think they know what they want, and they think that it's the best time. Remember, guys, we are using our analytical, limited mind. It's a mind of anxiousness and it wants stuff. Your higher mind knows, man, your higher self can see your whole timeline, people. It sees everything that you can't see. So that's why I always say, go with the flow. How long did you see the 7s and 8s before you got your lottery win? I started seeing the 7s and 8s like 4 or 5 months before, every day consistently. But you can also control your manifestation by the first, by what? By the first lottery win. Well, you can control what you're going to create, but I couldn't control when it was going to happen. I didn't know when it was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen, but I mean that's what you can control. You can control it's going to happen, but you can't control when it's going to come into your reality. That's up to your subconscious, your higher self, your unique blueprint. It's up to you. And remember, guys, we are looking at things irrational. Remember now, we're looking at what we call time, which is not there. It's there. You know, the year, and when I tell you guys like 12 months or 13 months, I say that just to make sense so you can understand. But in my mind, it wasn't years or a year to me. It was just like moment to moment to moment. So I developed my mindset that I don't look at things in time now. I look at things as moments of moments. That's how the way I look at reality now, I compartmentalize my reality. I put them in blocks. In the morning, I just see what I have to do in there. I don't look ahead all the way to the evening. I just go for this moment to this moment, and it shrinks my time. It shrinks my perception of time, which brings me more in the moment. That's where I want to be. That's where you want to be. Because when you're in the present moment, man, that's called your point of power. That's where you're the most dangerous and powerful to manifest. In the present moment, you're a point of power. Because think about this. Here's the thing about this. You and I, we can only create in the present. You cannot create anything in the future because it doesn't exist. It's not there yet. You cannot create anything in the past. It's already gone. It's a present. It's a moment that's moment to moment. You and I can only create right now. Think about this. When do you visualize? In right now. When you're doing your work, you're doing it now. That's called your point of power. When I was visualizing the lottery, I was doing it now. And think about it. When I won the lottery, when did it happen? Right now. Or you may say, Mark, it happened in a year. But yeah, the year is a perception. But when it did happen, I was present and aware as it happened now. It was a human construct to say the months and da-da-da. But I already knew innately that happened now. And if you want to get deeper at that, I could get deeper at that. So it literally means that whatever I think about and I work on, I've already manifested it. I've already manifested. What's happening is my brain hasn't caught up to it yet, but I've already manifested it. If you want to get deeper, that's what happened. So if you want to get deeper with the lottery, I already had won the lottery already. That's why my mind gave me the ability to go buy the stuff before, because my brain knew I already won. So what happened was my little slow brain was just catching up to what you call a timeline, because the brain concepts to my desire, but it was already there. If you want to think deep level, big picture. So that means that you have already manifested whatever you want already. You just haven't caught up to what's already there, because remember how we see stuff. We see stuff in a linear format. See how it works? So our brains are processing like this, and our stuff is already sitting over there waiting for us. What book do you recommend as a guide or help to manifest? You could go read my book. I have 2 books. Manifested with Quantum Physics, and the other book is the Lottery book, but it has both of these. You can find those on my website. You'll know everything you need to know about the subconscious, the mind, all that stuff. So, so that's what happened. That's what you learn, man. You learn how the mind works with the universe. And when you learn that, man, it's like, you realize that, oh man, this is really like a game thing here, man. Most people don't understand this, and some people won't, buy into it. I say this to you guys. Look, some people won't become awakened. You know that, right? So if you're watching this, you're awake. That's good for you. But some people just won't be awakened in this lifetime. They just won't. They just it's just not a part of their program. It's not what they chose. Maybe in another lifetime when they come back, they will. But there's just some people here that you can help them. You can show them the knowledge and information. They just won't get it. You can't get what you're not able to get. You're not going to understand what you're incapable of understanding. It's not going to work. It's like me going to my dog and explaining to my dog how quantum physics work. My dog don't care about that. He's not going to get that. All my dog is looking at is like, okay, where's my treat and when are you going to take me out for my walk? See, the animal is not in his mentality. And there are some people like that. That's why you call them NPCs, non-player characters. There's some people that will look at you and say, "Yeah, right. What you talking about?" That's okay. They're like that dog. It's not programming them. So you can, hey, you can. That's why if you try to. That's why I tell people. I said, look, don't try to like force people and show them. You can open up and give people a hint, and if they're ready, they'll be receptive. But most people aren't going. Some people just aren't going to get it, man. They'll look at you, and they'll be like, "Oh, okay. What time we gotta be at work again?" It goes right over their head. Those people I don't even waste time with, man. I spot them out instantly. When I see them, I'm like, comments and all that stuff. I know them. I mean, you're not gonna don't waste your energy on those people, because it's like talking to your dog. Hey, so we create reality based on energetic particles, all right? So the reason you're here is because you came, but my dog's looking up like, yeah. He's looking around again. My dog just think in his head is like, food, walk me, that's it. People are like that. This is not egotistical. It's truth. It's not saying you're better than people. I'm just giving you awareness to stop wasting your energy and your time. Put your time into people that will put their time into you. Put your time into people that are willing to listen to you and learn from you. Don't try to change and convince people, because they're just, that's how the game's made up. The game is, here's another fine print of the game they don't tell you. Also in the game, you're going to have a lot of NPCs. It's just a part of the program. You're going to have a lot of what you call the haters. You're going to have a lot of what you call the doubters. You're going to have a lot of what you call the realists. You're going to have a lot of what you call defenders of the matrix. They're all put into the program to make sense of reality. It's a design of the game. So don't waste your time, people. It's not worth your energy, man. You just go out, let your actions, let your manifestations speak, and forget those people. If they wake up, you're welcome. If they don't, it's all good. If you die rich, will you come back rich or start struggling over again to create? Well, that depends on what you selected before you got here. That depends on your higher self. Like, we all come here for like an experience. So it depends on you. Many of us come here to learn for different things. Some people come here to observe. Some people come here not to be awakened because they want to experience what it's like not to be awakened. So that's why I said some people never change. Some people come here to be awakened. Some people come here to be teachers, to be influencers, to do this, to do that. Everyone plays a part. It's like a movie. I keep saying game again, movie, it's all that. Every people you meet in your life, guys, they're a part in a movie. The actor, the co-actor, the extras. It's all that, man. Yes. Is the sign of waking up what? We even choose our parents. That's correct. You even choose your parents. You even choose your parents. This is why This is why I stopped trying to convince people that our thoughts create. Yeah. You even choose your parents. So okay, so let's get back to like the components of the subconscious mind, right? So that's what we're touching on, right? So subconscious mind, now you know you have to use the visualization, You got to use your self-talk out loud, right? And then everyone knows now, you should know, or if you don't know, that the most powerful way to access your subconscious is through hypnosis or auto-hypnosis. Auto-hypnosis is using the subliminal planes, but you can do hypnosis, and you can hypnotize yourself as well. And but you can do that because when you wake up in the morning, in two hours before, as you get up in the morning, you have a 2 hour window where you're still in the theta state. That's called self-hypnosis. That's where you can close your eyes and you can talk to your subconscious mind in a question, and you're hypnotizing your own self. So you don't have to go to a hypnotherapist. You can do it yourself if you are someone, or that way. But those are the subconscious ways. Okay. See how it works, guys? This stuff really works. We're made to create our lives. Yeah, the reason why this stuff works, guys, is because the stuff you see around you is not really stuff. It's information. And we gather it with our brains. That's why each person have their own unique view of reality. That's why you could be with someone, but you could be in a totally different world. Because in your mind and your head, your life is different than theirs. And then your reality is going to reflect it. That's what I want you to think about, man. Think about, like, let's say you have a roommate. You both live in the same house. This is deep now. Your roommate is struggling, but yet you are not struggling. But you're in the same house. What's the difference? Mindset. What you think in your head. So it shows you that each of us have our own individual reality working. Mark, why do we manifest negative easier than positive? It's called wiring, neuroplasticity. So the reason why we manifest negative than positive, because our brains are wired from a young age to so what neuroplasticity is in your brain you have neurons, and they're always looking to connect. So when we see a certain pattern over and over again, the neurons will fuse together, and that's called a connection, and we call that neuroplasticity, because once it has a connection now, it will start to repeat the same pattern. So think about it. When we were young kids, we were exposed to a lot of negative stuff. We see like lack on TV, we see the news, we hear our parents complain about not enough money, we may see our father and mother fight, we may see the world as this, and that's all done by design. The world wants to make you see the world as a bad place, fear, so that you can be controlled more easily. So your brain neurons, they fire together. So now as you got older, the minute you think of a negative thought, it's easier to manifest because the pathways are already fused. So the electrical signal from the neurons and the synapses, then it crosses what's called the dendrites. Those synapses now sends off and goes out into the universe and then brings that stuff back to you quickly. That's why it's easier to manifest negative stuff faster. But your brain can be fixed because 80% of your brain is malleable. And that means you can physically change your brain and create a new neuroplasticity. That's called synaptic pruning. Synaptic pruning is now where you are deliberately picking what you want your brain to fuse together. And that's when you focus on what you want. It's called synaptic pruning. Now the brain cells are looking for a certain pathway, so they're going to connect. So now your brain says, I'm going to only show you good stuff in life. I'm going to only show you about how to make money. I'm going to only show you how to be a good in a relationship. I'm going to only show you the positive stuff. Now your brain fuses, so the minute you think about that, that's going to manifest a lot easier. See how that works? So when the pregnancy is terminated, will those babies go find other parents? I believe so. Yep. So that's the reason why it's easier to manifest negative versus positive. I'll take a couple more, then I gotta go here. Is time really clock moment to moment every hour if you get in your first? If is time what? Okay. What do we have here? Ding dong. Okay. What is deja vu? How come you feel like you've already lived the moment in that present moment? because you already have. Deja vu is what you call quantum shifting or quantum jumping. It's where you pick up another version of yourself in a parallel reality and then you glitch back. That's why I feel you already been there before. That's what really deja vu is. I know science will tell you something about the brain remembrance, but don't buy any of that. Because I've experienced that before and I've seen different realities, man. Did you know? I'll put it like this. Did you know, like, if you when you dream in something, when you dream, if you ever dream of a land you've never seen before, and it's nowhere on Earth, and you ever had a beautiful dream, like, man, I was at this beautiful place. It was a waterfall. You actually were in another parallel world planet. You actually tapped into somewhere, something that existed not in this dimension, another planet. Also, if you dream and you see people you've never seen before, you've picked up other parallel versions of other people. Because here's a secret about the subconscious. I said it in all my videos. I'll say it again. Everything you dream can only come in based on what your subconscious sees. So that means if you're seeing someone in your dream you've never seen before, they can't be in your dream from your subconscious, because your subconscious can only bring people in that you've seen before and you've experienced before. So if you're dreaming totally new stuff you've never seen in reality, chances are you tapped into one of those parallel worlds. Dream is your dreams, guys. Is sleep is another life. You're half 3D and you're half parallel shifting every time. What's a study? They say we spend about 20 years of our lives sleeping and the other living when you combine them together. So that means you spend 20 years living in parallel worlds, another dimension. Because here's the thing I understand. When you're dreaming, the body doesn't know the difference between awaken or dream. This is why you sweat in your dreams. This is why you can move your hands and all that stuff in your dreams. And what the body does, the body tries to protect itself by secreting what's called a neurochemical to paralyze you. That's why when you're sleeping, you don't hurt yourself, because the body shuts you down, because the body believes that you're actually doing this in real life. Mind-blowing, isn't it? The stuff they don't tell you, the stuff you don't know until you find out yourself. If you every night you go to dream, you are traveling to another world. You're in a parallel world, one of those infinite worlds, every night. And it makes sense, because if we think about how the universe works, we know that everything was entangled from the beginning, or what we call a beginning. And if everything was entangled, it's all entangled through consciousness. And the only way we can travel to these other dimensions is through a conscious state, which is an energetic informational state. So that means when I dream or you dream, our brain, our subconscious now, is actually retrieving information that our common senses can't pick up, because your senses have shut down, your 5 senses have shut down. So now you're entering like a higher dimensional state of the unconscious, which now takes you to other dimensions, other planets, other experiences. You bring them into this dimension, and when you wake up, you can affect this world through your dreams, because you can dream something that happened in another world and make it happen in this world. Because they're all the same, they're just a little off by different parallel structures. That's according to what we call string theory, 13 dimensions, or what we call inflation theory. So keep in mind, guys, you're living 2 lives at the same time. You're living here physical, but yet you're always traveling to somewhere else. All right, so that's the time I have. I'll see you guys again next week. Peace.